as requested by some of you, I'm going to show you the solution of the paper that you sat a few weeks ago. The first question was, in an ecology experiment, a number of mosquitoes are placed in a container with water and vegetation. The population of mosquitoes, P, increases and can be modeled by the function P of t is 24 times 4 to the power of 0.385t, where t is bigger than or equal to 0 and is the time given in days since the mosquitoes were placed in the container. A. Find the number of mosquitoes initially placed in the container and in the container after 5 days. So to find the number of mosquitoes initially placed in the container, we need to see what is the value of P when t is equal to 0. So this is going to be 24 times 4 to the power of 0.385 times 0, and that is equal to 24 times 4 to the power of 0. We know that 4 to the power of 0 is 1. So P of 0 is going to be 24. And then the second part is when they have been in the container after 5 days. So we want P of 5. P of 5 is going to be 24 times 4 to the power of 0.385 times 5. And this is equal to 346.08. So I'm going to round that to 346 flies. Then we have the maximum capacity of the container is 5,000 mosquitoes. Find the number of days until the container reaches its maximum capacity. So for this part of the question, we want to know when 5,000 is going to be equal to 24 times 4 to the power of 0.385 t, and we want to find the value of t for which this is true. So I would use my calculator with the graph method, and with that method we find that t is equal to 10 years, 10.00357. Now this number is bigger than 10, so the final answer would have to be 11 days. We can check that P of 10 has a value of 4,990. So on the 10th day, it still hasn't reached 5,000. So after 11 days, you would have reached 5,000 flies. Now for the second question, we have a farmer going to fence two equal adjacent parcels of land. These parcels share one side, like is shown here. The farmer has only 80 meters of fence. A, write down the equation for the total length of the fence, 80 centimeters in terms of x and y. So the farmer only counts with 80 meters of fencing, which needs to account for all of these sides of the fence. So we're going to count the perimeter of the fence, 80 meters, as we have 4 sides that will measure y and 3 sides that will measure x. So it's 4y plus 3x. This would be our answer for A. Now B says, write down the total area of both parcels of land in terms of x. So we want the total area. That area is length times width because it is a rectangle, and the length of this rectangle is 2y and the width is x. So the total area is going to be 2y times x. Now the question is asking us to write this area in terms of x only, so I'm going to use my answer to A to solve for y. So 80 minus 3x is equal to 4y, and that means y is equal to 80 minus 3x over 4. So I'm going to substitute into my expression for the area 2 times 80 minus 3x over 4 times x, and that can simplify that. That is going to be equal to 80 over 2, that's 40, x minus 3 over 2 x squared. This is the equation of a parabola with leading coefficient minus 3 over 2. The coefficient b is 40 and the coefficient c is 0. And identifying these coefficients is very useful to me because I know that the maximum that I'm going to use for question C is going to be found by looking at where is the vertex. Now the x-coordinate of the vertex is given by minus b over 2a, and substituting the values, I have 40 negative over 2 times minus 3 over 2. This is equal to positive 40 over 3, which means the maximum area is going to be 40 over 3 minus 3 by 2, 40 over 3 squared. Now we calculate that is equal to 800 over 3, but we just want the area of one of the parcels of land. This is the area of both parcels, so I'm going to divide that by 2. The maximum area for one parcel is 400 divided by 3, which is the same as 133.3 periodic square meters. Now for the final question on the test, we have a diagram shows triangle ABC. The point C has coordinates 9, 5, and the equation of the line AB is x plus 4y equals 12. Find the coordinates of A and B. A and B correspond to the x and y intercepts of that line. So we can find A is going to have coordinates x is 0 and y is 3. We know this by substituting x equal to 0 here and solving for y. Y will be 12 divided by 4, which is 3. Now for B is the x-intercept, so we know y is going to be 0. So similarly, we substitute 0 here and we get x is equal to 12. So 12, 0 are the coordinates of B. Now we can move on to B. Show that the length of AB is 12.4 correct to 3 significant figures. So the answer is given in this problem. When you have a question and the answer is given, you are not to write the value that is given. You have to show through process that that number is correct. So in order to show that the length of AB is 12.4, we need to calculate the distance using the distance formula from the point A to the point B. Now the distance formula takes 2 points and calculates the distance of the coordinates and takes the square of those distances. It is based on Pythagoras theorem. So it would be like this. So I'm going to substitute x2, y2 as the coordinates of B and y1, x1, y1 with the coordinates of A. So this is going to be 12 minus 0 squared plus 0 minus 3 squared, and in a square root, that is 12 squared plus minus 3 squared, which is the same as 3 squared, and that is 144 plus 9 in a square root, that is the square root of 153, which when we calculate is equal to 12.36931. To 3 significant figures, this is going to round to 12.4. Now we're going to continue with C. The point D is on the line AB. The line CD is perpendicular to the line AB. Find the gradient of CD. The information that we have is that CD is perpendicular to the line AB. Therefore, the product of the slope of AB and the slope of CD should be equal to -1. First, we need to identify what the slope of AB is. The equation of that line is x plus 4y equals to 12, meaning y is equal to minus x plus 12 divided by 4. The slope is minus 1/4. So the slope of CD has to be the reciprocal negative of that to be perpendicular. So the slope of CD is going to be 4, reciprocal negative of -1/4. Now to find the equation of CD, we need to use the point C95 that is given. We're going to substitute onto the equation mx plus c the values of the point. So 5 equals 9 times the slope, which is 4, and we're going to find c. So 5 is equal to 36 plus c, that means c is equal to minus 31. Therefore, the equation is y equals 4x minus 31. Then it says find the coordinates of D. D is the point of intersection of the two lines. So we're going to use our calculators to graph the two lines. The first line being 4x minus 31 and the second line being -1/4 x plus 3. So graphing these two functions and finding the intersect, we find that the two lines are intersecting at the point 8, 1. So these should be the coordinates of the point D. Now we move on to E. Calculate the length of CD correct to 3 significant figures. Now CD would be the distance between the point 95 and the point 81. So again, we're going to use the distance formula for these 2 points. So 9 minus 8 squared plus 5 minus 1 squared. And that is the square root of 1 squared plus 4 squared. That is the square root of 17. Which is equal to 4.12310. To 3 significant figures, this is 4.12. Now, finally, we're going to do F. Calculate the area of the triangle ABC. So this triangle is drawn such that we know what the base is. The base is the length of AB. And the height is this perpendicular line. So we can use the traditional formula for the area of the triangle, that is base times height divided by 2. So in the case, the base is the distance from A to B, which is the root of 153, times the height, which is the root of 17, and then divided by 2. Notice that I'm not using the rounded answers. To this calculation, I'm using the exact values, and then I'm going to round the final answer. This is equal to 25.5. So you see that using the unrounded values, we get an answer that is already to 3 significant figures. So I'm not going to round it any further. And the area of the triangle is going to be 25.5 units squared.